welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be reviewing the anime Given. But before we get started, hi, my name is Bianca. Here on my channel I talk about my weight loss, I do vlogging, I do reviews, and I talk a little bit about this and a little bit of that. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, please stay tuned. Alright, so if you are new here, this is kind of how I do my anime reviews. They're very simple and short, not too in-depth. You know, just when I'm really excited about an anime, I just want to talk about it. So what I always do is that I give a summary of it, I talk about the bad, and then I talk about the good, because I always want to end it on a positive note. And as you can tell, I'm wearing Minnie Mouse ears, you know, to keep it up with the theme of October. On my last video, you saw me as Tanjiro, so today I am Minnie Mouse, because Halloween and October are my favorite month, holiday season. I love everything spooky and scary, so yeah, let's get right into it. Alright, and if you haven't seen this anime or you're interested in watching it, I will be talking about spoilers here, so if that doesn't sound like something you want to hear, just click out of this video and then come back whenever you're done watching it. Given is a anime about a band. More specifically, it follows the story of two high school boys named Mafiu and Ritsuka. And Ritsuka, one day he goes to the gymnasium to go take a nap because this is his usually napping place, and then he sees Mafiu there sleeping with a guitar. So he finds this kind of weird. Mafiu ends up waking up and he's like, you know, you can sit here. So they ended up, like, you know, just sitting there. And then, you know, Ritsuka asked him about his guitar, and then saying how, like, it's like rusty and stuff, and you need to change the strings. And Mafio, who seems like he doesn't know what the hell Ritsuka is talking about, he's like, oh, like, these strings can be changed, like, can you show me? Ritsuka, he's like, yeah, you can change them. Like, what a dumb question. Like, you know, we see this, like, in his, like, kind of more of his point of view. And, you know, the guitar that Mafiu has apparently is like an advanced guitar, so he doesn't understand like how this like newbie or someone who doesn't know this much about guitars has it. And so, you know, over the anime you see the friendship develop, and eventually they find out that Mafiu is actually really talented. Like, he picks up on things, like he's never played the guitar before, but he picks up on things really fast. One time Mafiu starts singing and Ritsuka's like, how come you never told me you can sing? And Mafiu was like, oh, I never knew I could sing. I mean, I just always been doing this. And so eventually, Ritsuka, he's in a band, so he's like, hey, like, why don't you come, like, to our band rehearsals just to see us play and everything. So Mafiu goes to their band, and this is where we meet the other band members, and they're a little bit older, they're in college. Ikuko and Haruki. Sorry, I have to look down because I don't want to mispronounce his name, but I probably did anyways. So whenever they meet Mafiu as well and they hear him play and sing and stuff, they're like, yeah, like, we totally need him in his band. Because before, up to this point, they were just an instrumental band, meaning, you know, they didn't have a lead vocalist or anything, they just played with their instruments. And so they think Mafiu would be a great addition to their band. Haruki, he has his friend, because he also works at a coffee shop, and this friend visits him at the coffee shop, and the friend's like, hey, like, I have this venue, like, we're having a live show night, we need more bands to play, like, how about your band plays? And Haruki's like, sure, like, why not? So Haruki tells the band, and they're like, okay, well, we're gonna have a live show, so we better get our stuff together, pretty much, that's what they say. And so, you know, they practice, Mafiu has to write and sing a song, which he's never done before, but, you know, Ritsuka, he's like really pushing him to do this song, like, come on, like, you can do it, like let's do it, like, you have the vocals, man, like, if you don't give it your all, like, then you're just wasting your potential pretty much. And so the big day comes, they're able to play. Mafiu, he literally can't write the song. He literally sings the song the day of the gig, like never rehearsed it or anything, but at that moment he just kind of releases himself. And that's pretty much the gist of it. So I'm gonna go a little bit into details now, because this anime, guys, it tugged at my heartstrings. It was giving me everything. So what I didn't mention in that quick like rundown was that eventually we see Ritsuka pretty much like falling in love with Mafiu. And I know I'm hearing you now,
oh, this is a, you know, a boy love anime.
And yes, it is. And as a queer person myself, when I see love like this, it just makes me so freaking happy. I love love. Like, I'm a sucker for love. I love anything romantic, anything cutesy. Like, I love that shit. Like, I love it. And so I tend to watch a lot of love animes because that's just what I like to see. And so I've seen things like My Love Story, which is a really good one, by the way, too. And I've seen Love After World Domination, and I've seen Yuri on Ice. But Given to me, it's just a little bit different from the animes that I've seen, which isn't a whole lot. I've only probably seen like maybe 50 animes, like, you know, and they all vary. So Given to me was very special in the way that we saw like this relationship develop over time, and we actually get to see them like really like each other. Because like I said, for the most part, this is the point of view of Ritsuka, so we hear kind of most of his inner thoughts, and sometimes of like the other band members too, but for the most part it's his point of view. And there's also a movie in the season 2 out, but I'm not going to be talking about those. I'm strictly just talking about season 1. And so it's just nice to actually see this develop over time, unlike other animes that when they have the same gender love, like it's kind of very like predatory or very like forced, and then eventually like they fall in love too, or like there's like a weird age gap, and it's just like, why can't we just have a same gender love that is just like all the heterosexual couples? Like, why is that so hard to ask? But Given was answering my questions. And so it is just so cute seeing like the relationship develop over time, and like nothing feels rushed, nothing feels like too pushy. Like it kind of just naturally develops over time, like how any other like crush in a relationship would. And so also we find out during this anime that Mafiu, he ends up going to this certain high school because in his old like area, I guess for middle school area, he did have a boyfriend and they were dating, and then something very sad happens, and then he ends up unaliving himself, and he leaves his guitar to Mafiu, who's never played a guitar or anything. So that's how you find out how Mafiu got his guitar, and you can see why he's so like quiet and so closed off, because you know he's dealing with a lot of stuff. And I feel like this anime is also special because it handles topics in such a way that is very like, they handle topics in a very good way, as in like when he's talking about unaliving himself, like they don't show anything too graphic, but you kind of understand the context of it. And they explain grieving in such a way, you know, that you can't hold on to that. Like you have to let it go at one point, you know, feel what you need to feel, then eventually let it go, because if not, like it's gonna destroy you on the inside. And they handle that beautifully. Also in Ritsuka, because you know he's having questions. He's like, wow, like am I really like having like feelings for like a guy? And so he talks to his older like band member Kikuko, and he's like, yeah dude, like I've dated boys too, I've dated girls, like, but do you think there's anything wrong with me? And then in Ritsuka, you know, like none of them knew that, so he was just like, oh my gosh, like no, like his Ritsuka, he looks up to Akiko like a lot, like he admires him, he respects him a lot. So you know, when he said that, it was just nice to see them talk about a topic and actually like say it out loud, like yeah, they have feelings for guys, or you know, like Akiko, he has feelings for boys and girls. And I just want to say, you know, I'm a bi person. I don't really like specific labels, so that's why I always use the term queer. But if I had to put a label on it, like yes, I am bi. And we do not see a lot of bi representation out here. Like not a lot of movies, animes, TV shows. Like we hardly see it. Okay, we see like, you know, the gay and the lesbians, but the bi people. So when I heard this, it just made me so happy. So like I said, I'm very biased towards this anime because it just feels good to be validated. Like and not saying like you need validation from like TV shows or other people. Like your true validation should come from with you, because the only person that really needs to accept you at the end of the day is yourself. And so, you know, but just, you know, just seeing that and like in a TV show or something that's represented in a good way and not in a creepy way or in a bad way, like it makes me happy. I don't know how else to explain it, but it just makes me happy. If you know, you know. And then y'all, the second to last episode, because there's only 11 episodes in this anime, which that's a travesty within itself. But on episode 10, like after they perform, because you know Mafiu had all these feelings, and then he finally like lets it all out during the song, which I have to say the music in this anime, bangers after bangers. I've been listening to this album like over and over, because even though I don't understand it, they're bangers. They're bangers. I don't need to understand something to know it's good. In the hype of everything, like Ritsuka like pulls him away, then he ends up kissing him. Yeah, he ends up kissing him that night. But it's just so funny because the next morning Ritsuka doesn't realize it until he's like you know, like I had so much adrenaline from the night before. Like he says that he doesn't remember, like he just remembers doing the show and then getting home, realizing he's like, oh no, like he kissed Mafiu. And it's so cute because Ritsuka, he's like, oh my gosh, like I just kissed him and I don't even know if he likes me. Like, you know, he just did it in the spur of the moment type of thing. So it's nice that like he also realized that. And so in the very last episode, Mafiu's like, no, like I like you too, like I have been liking you. And then like it's just so funny because in one part, like you see Ritsuka, his inner thoughts, and there's like little memes of him. And in one part, they're like throwing a farewell party to like his virginity, and it's just like so freaking funny. And this anime does a really good job of like handling serious topics, but then also like, you know, putting comedy into it. Like it was just a perfect blend of all these things. So yeah, so pretty much the last episode ends up with them pretty much just dating, and you know, them asking permission from their band, because you know they're in their band, so they ask permission and they're allowed to, and that's how season 1 pretty much ends. Alright, so now that I've given you the summary, let's talk about the things that I guess that I really didn't like about it. Which, to be honest, like I said at the beginning, this is going to be a very biased review. I didn't see a lot wrong with it except for the fact that it needed to be longer. I guess my biggest complaint with this anime is like I said, it's only 11 episodes long. And so, even though the relationship itself doesn't feel rushed, all the episodes in general just feel rushed because they pack so much information into one like 20-minute long episode. And so like, you know, in my second like viewing of it, that's when I like noticed more things. It'd be nice to know just a little bit more detail about the characters. Something I also noticed that maybe would have helped the story along, because like I said, the point of view is kind of from most part from Ritsuka, and so you don't see the point of views from everyone else's, and especially Mafiu. So because you know, at the beginning, like I said, like Mafiu was trying to struggle with all this, and you can see here now and then that he kind of might be having a crush on Ritsuka, but on his confession he says he loves him. So yeah, I mean, he could love him, but I just thought, to me, the word love is like a very strong word. And you know, maybe it's just a translation too, because you know, I read everything in subtitles, so maybe love, like in their context, isn't as strong as I think it is. But you know, we see Mafiu, you know, struggling with like the loss of his like previous boyfriend, really struggling with it, struggling to let go. And then, you know, over time he's kind of opening up, and then we kind of see him like, you know, have feelings towards Ritsuka, but then at the very last episode he says he loves him. So which I kind of felt like was a big jump. Maybe if we saw more from his point of view and more of his thoughts, then maybe it would make more sense. Like maybe he was scared to show more feelings towards Ritsuka because you can tell that Mafiu probably doesn't feel like he deserves any kind of affection because everything that happened with his previous relationship. So it would have been nice to see a little bit more into that. But other than that, like, honestly guys, I really do not have that much complaints, because like I said, I love this anime. Like, and maybe I guess the other complaint about this anime could be that when I was first watching this, I didn't think it was gonna be a love story. Like, you know, I just saw guitars and stuff. I was like, oh, okay, it's about music. And so me going into this, I didn't think it was about love. I'm glad it was though. Like don't get me wrong. I'm glad it was, because you know, I'm a sucker for love. But I guess sometimes, because you know, on Crunchyroll, because I have Crunchyroll and you can read the comments on there if you're on your phone, and a lot of people were expecting like, I guess, a music anime, and they got the love anime, which some of them weren't mad about and some of them really were. You know, I'm not gonna talk about those. So I guess maybe they should target more of that as a love anime, opposed to just like a music anime. But like I said, like the music and the love story and all the topics, like I said, like the creators of the show, like really, you could tell they took their time with this anime and they wanted to make something good, and they wanted to make something that people could relate to. Like I said, what I've really enjoyed about this anime is that, of course, they have the same-sex love. I'm a sucker for that. Also, like the way they handle topics, as I said, they just do it beautifully and so like well, and so like in a realistic way, if that makes sense. There's this girl, and you can kind of tell she has a crush on Ritsuka, but you know, he's not interested. But they notice like they've been spending a lot of time together, and so they're in art class one day, this girl and Ritsuka, and she's like, hey, like I think you should stay away from Mafiu because I think he's dangerous. And there was rumors in his old middle school that he was dating a boy, and that boy ended up unaliving himself. And Ritsuka, like, if anything, like this doesn't like phase him in the way that you think it would, because like I said, there's like more towards the beginning of the episode, so you're not quite sure how Ritsuka feels about Mafiu. he's just shocked that like, wow, like this person that I'm starting to care about is going through all this pain. I had no idea. But I know what this girl was trying to do, you know what I mean? I knew what her intentions were, because there are people out there like that who will, first of all, she outed someone when it was none of her goddamn business. Okay, I'll just get that out of the way. Like, never out someone. Like, if someone themselves hasn't came out or told you personally, then it's none of your goddamn business. Especially some random ass girl. Okay, so yeah, sorry, I'm a little triggered by that, because that really had pissed me off, because I understand like this is high school and you have strong feelings for someone, but that doesn't mean like you throw other people under the bus. Like, that's not how you do things, especially outing them. No. And then second of all, things like, oh, if I tell him this, then like that'll make him like me. And girl, you could have been more wrong. You couldn't have been more wrong. But the way the anime, you know, deals with it is that at least on the next episode, she does, like, I guess, apologize for it. But, you know, once you out someone, there's no really apologizing from that. But you told someone's personal business, like super personal business, to someone else, and I just feel like that's not forgivable. But she somehow like kind of apologized for it and admits that it was petty and she shouldn't have done that. And then goes to Ritsuka, being the cool guy he is, he's like, oh yeah, like, you know, like no problem, like you know, it's okay. So I thought that was really nice how like at least like they made her like apologize to someone about it. And you know, Ritsuka handled it so well. Like, he didn't make her, like, he agreed. He's like, yeah, that was petty, but you know, he wasn't rude about it, and he was, you know, just okay, like, it's fine that you did it, you know, it's also petty, like, I just like don't do it again, pretty much. So overall, I do give this anime a 10 out of 10, because like I said, I'm really biased about it, because I love the romance, the music, the animation was really beautiful in it. Like, I loved all the colors. I just love bright, detailed like animes like that. Like, oh, it was a really good anime to watch. And like I said, it was so easy to watch too, because you can't believe like those 20 minutes already go by. The main message I got from season 1 is that our past doesn't define us. Whatever happened in our past, you know, we need to, you know, feel those feelings, acknowledge them, let them out, and then move on, because if not, they end up swallowing us whole, and then we become a person that we don't recognize. And I feel like Given does a really good job of that, you know, like of facing our past and trying to move forward, because at the end of the day, that's all you can do. And thank you guys so much for watching this whole video. I really do appreciate it if you stuck out to the end. Like this video if you liked it, please share it if you think it's worth sharing. And if you didn't like it, let me know down in the comments why, and maybe we can have a little discussion about it. And if you haven't subscribed, it is okay. I understand. You gotta fill me out. You gotta check out my other videos. So that's okay. So go ahead, check out my other videos once you're done with this one, and you might be surprised and find something that you like. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye!